everybody, to and after the amazing Hawaii Comic-Con edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money. And,
You know what?
I'm coming from all the way downtown.
Dude, I better get just as good an intro as that. Jesus Christ.
With Gavin Gilmore here with 30 minutes on the intro.
I know, right? I am G Money, fresh.
That was a very good, like, NBA Jam.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? We are hot off the heels of the amazing Hawaii Comic-Con. The NERDWatch was representing.
The nail in the coffin.
That's right, and so was Todd Bernardi. He was there with his amazing Hawaii Comic Book Alliance was there as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about what made the amazing Hawaii Comic-Con great. And I hate to toot our own horn here, but it was probably the NERDWatch.
It was mostly.
And now we've lost.
Can you smell what the NERDWatch is cooking?
There you go.
Wow.
Well, let me go around the horn really quick before we get started.
That was mostly me.
Of course, to my right is the one and only comic book artist extraordinaire, local comic book artist responsible for the Kukui Project. And finally, we're going to be seeing issue number 8 for the Kukui Project. There is a continuing story happening. Thank the Lord. And it's the one and only Todd Bearded Bernardi in the house. How you doing?
Yay!
I just want to do a good
You're
job.
doing a fantastic job, sir. Fantastic job. And then, of course, to his right is horror aficionado. I should say, how do I put this?
Lady killer?
No. He's a,
You kill ladies?
I guess you could say.
Casanova.
No.
You should kill
What's a
some
good way
men,
to?
too.
Don Juan.
Kind of, but he's
Lothario.
he has an appreciation for cosplay.
He's a Casanova.
And he's a cosplayer. He's a cosplayer Casanova. That's it. And then of course he's
That's a little
also
overstating it.
the punk rock superstar,
You dress
the
up
one
as
and
Casanova.
only Gannon Gilmore. Second?
I didn't get that
That was pretty good.
No, he asked for it.
Just a pitch higher.
Oh, just a pitch higher.
Speaking
Okay.
of Casanovas.
What?
So listen.
How many baskets did you
fantastic-
score last season?
It's a segue.
Are we doing plugs in the middle of the intros?
That's
Well,
what we do.
we are going to get to Gannon.
We'll do plugs later.
Yeah,
We'll do plugs later.
Right, and Gannon
I'm
has some.
sure format wants an introduction
I'm
to get
sure.
his line.
We
So-
can do plugs without.
Yeah, we could.
There can be one.
And then, of course, to Gannon's immediate right is the one and only gaming guru himself. I'm assuming
Am I
he
supposed
was.
to do something?
I'm assuming he was playing Overwatch while we were gone.
How did you even play it?
I don't know.
It came out yesterday.
I only played during the beta weekend.
There you go.
I played all night last night.
So it's the one, the only. Format is in the house as well tonight. And then,
I just did it. That counts.
Oh, man!
Sorry, man. Sorry. All right.
He is on fire!
I was skipping everybody.
Do over.
All right. So, how can I put? Okay.
I'm
Here
a
we go.
hot jam!
The one and only gaming guru himself, probably playing Overwatch while we were gone, while we were at the Comic-Con. The one and only Foreman! That good?
Take it back. Do it over. Again, but back to regular.
And then the man that, can I just say that the man that geeked out all 3 days that we were gone.
Let me tell you, watching him at the convention was kind of like what a little kid looks like at Christmas. Like eyes just wide and probably didn't even know what he was saying half the time. Just his mouth was moving.
I thought that he was going to make out with Chris Claremont is what I thought he was going to do.
I didn't.
You know.
I've never
never
seen
know
anything
unless you
more
watch the
excited in
interview.
my life.
Yeah. He is the man who owns the amazing shop that we call Maui Comics and Collectibles. It made a huge impression at the amazing Hawaii Comic-Con, if I say so myself. It is the one, the only, the owner, the proprietor, the one, the only, Alika! Is that good for you?
Yeah,
I didn't even get that.
It's not as fun a name when you do
No,
it that
it's
way.
not. Plus, if I added his
I
last
appreciate
name,
the effort.
Yeah. And then if I added his last name, it would just be really weird. And then, of course, Big C's here. Anyway.
That was good.
Real fast, we went to a VIP night Thursday night before the Comic-Con, and Alika was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out." And he was like, "Who's here?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe Chris Claremont." And then Alika was like, "What? No, Chris? Oh."
Wow.
He turned into a little kid again.
Did he?
He really did.
And I was like, "Hey, are you gonna go talk to Chris Claremont?" And he was like, "No, I don't know." I was like, "Why not?" I was like, "Are you?"
Well, even DJ,
I was like, "Are you?"
But he's like, I don't want to be a sellout. I don't want to go up to him. And I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna be this close to this guy again.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go introduce myself. I don't care.
The way Todd sold it, though, it sounded like you arrived in your pants, is what it sounded like.
He was like,
Are you allowed to say that?
and I was like,
Yeah,
you know, I was like, have you heard of X-Men? He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, you're an X-Men fan, right? And I was like, yeah. And I already knew that because Alika's the biggest X-Men fan I've ever met. And I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Chris Claremont just wrote this book called X-Men.
He just wrote it?
Yeah, it was like
Starting in 1974?
Yeah, it was like he wrote it for like, I don't know, the entire time.
And he
was
gave us
reading
the
it.
whole story on that interview. It was amazing to hear it from the Godfather's mouth himself, the creator. Basically, everything
X-Men history in 20 minutes.
Right. Well, let me tell you something.
Everything I love about the X-Men is he created that.
Right.
No offense to the forefathers who, Stan Lee and everybody who worked on it in the 60s, but what really defines the X-Men is from 1974 on, that's how everybody knows them.
Well, let me tell you something. We are going to go over that.
And I said you should meet him.
Yeah. We're going to go over that because let me tell you something. There is, before we get into all of the amazing Comic-Con talk, I do want to say that we, of course, are sponsored by the one, the only, or underwritten by the one, the only, Maui Comics and Collectibles. They are... they are here at 333 Dairy Road in the lovely town of Kalu.
I figured out that accent. I was on the airplane. That's how the pilot talks to the audience.
It's kind of how he does it.
I was like, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
We're going to be traveling at
20,000. Have you ever seen that Family Guy episode? We're quite hard on that.
Please make yourself known to Flight Attendant Vicky. If you want a map for the Hawaiian Islands, please see...
Anyway, back to the convention.
Flight Attendant Kenny.
Before we actually start...
Anyway, Maui Comics and Collectibles. By the way, the flights over for me were awful. I was stuck with people on the plane. Anyway...
Dude, I had a horrible flight back.
Did you?
I had to fly back with one of the cosplayers that...
Gosh, that sounds miserable.
Torture.
I know, it was terrible.
Miserable. Gosh.
I didn't even get the fly back. They made me paddle over.
That's why you're doing the
Easy, Hawaiian.
You know
Calm
all
down.
about
Is that
pride?
Yeah. That's how you get your inspiration for the Kukui project.
You're gonna appreciate this story. So me and Swan were in the airport with Ken, our tall Howley friend.
Yeah.
And we were all getting our boarding
It's
passes.
racist to point out that he's selling.
No, it's gonna be pertinent to the story. Just
Okay,
trust me.
great. Let me hear.
And we're getting our boarding passes, and me and Swan get our passes. They just come out normal. And then Ken pulls out his pass. Oh, TSA pre-check. It's great being white. and I didn't even think about that, and he said it, and I was like, wow, mother effer, I've never gotten a pre-check before.
That is awesome. That is
It's
awesome.
funny that you say that. My mother gets it all the time. She's white as can be, but I'm for local, so I never have ever once.
Man.
All right, so let's
I wanna
play the
do that.
game
I
then.
want to do
Who
that
amongst
pre-check.
us we get the TSA pre-check? Money's on Greg.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And money's on him.
No.
I would say him.
Well,
if it's
because
his
G would be wearing his Confederate shirt.
Every time.
No.
Plus, G looks like he's smuggling something.
I would not be wearing that shirt. I'd be wearing something more akin to a bald eagle, something a little less conspicuous. You know, the bald
Now,
eagle.
when you say you'd be wearing bald eagle, you mean like it's printed on your shirt, or you'd be wearing an actual bald eagle?
No, I put it on my shirt. Just
And
put it
now
on
the guy who would never get the pre-check, Swan.
Right. It's weird that Swan does kind of look like a Muslim.
A terrorist.
It's weird.
I never.
I don't want to
This guy's 90 some odd percent Hawaiian.
I never get.
Wow.
I never get the bag check when I'm traveling by myself, but when I'm with my wife, we always get bag check.
Can I tell you why you get bag check when your wife is there? If I may be so bold, it's because your wife is pretty hot. So I just want.
You're talking about his wife, dude.
I'm just
He
letting
just
you know.
wants extra time to
Listen,
look at
it's
her.
not. Listen, it's
He
not.
also wants extra time to talk to.
All I want to know, all I'm
It's
telling you
always
is,
because
it's not. It has nothing to do with her color or her race. It has nothing to do with that. Just people want to stop you and go, "How the hell did Todd Bernardi?"
it's true. No,
They're doing research.
Yeah, they're doing some
And
research.
their
Like,
entry point to that conversation is we need to check her bags.
right, like.
They're looking for the gold ingots. That's Todd Peter.
Right.
They're like, what is this guy got?
Right.
We gotta check his
I gotta
bag.
check.
Like, we gotta make sure that.
In this suitcase, there must be other pleasure devices in here
It's
somewhere.
like, what is it? He's got a golden thing that he has got to be
That's right.
able to do something with.
That's right.
I know what it is.
Yeah, right.
It's battery operated.
Yeah, that's what I said.
big.
That's what they're looking for. They're looking for other ways she finds pleasure. But listen,
Yeah,
that's why they
it's
stop
gotta
her. That's why they stop you guys. And it's, well, anyway, you know, TSA here, they're just so racist. It's crazy.
Take it easy, because Silent Sean just became a TSA.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, he did. That's why he was in Oahu.
Wow. Did not know that. That's pretty
I
nuts.
think that the way that you pronounce that is wow.
Wow. Anyway, let's get to the show, shall we? Maui Comics and Collectibles here at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. Just want to let you guys know they represented well over at Amazing Hawaii Comic Con.
They made $3 million.
And for good reason too. And for good reason too. Their booth was probably the most energetic and enthusiastic to
Had
be
the
at the
sexiest
con,
people.
and had amazingly sexy
out there
people,
watched the whole time.
and we had some amazing interviews as well. But of course, if you didn't happen
Chris
to come,
Claremont, Scott Lobdell.
yeah, we've got new artwork courtesy of the people at the Amazing Hawaii Comic Con here at 333 Dairy Road. It is, of course.
Oh, as a setup?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, I can't get
I know, you can't get over yourself. But here at 333 Dairy Road, you can get yourself comic books every single Wednesday. New Comic Book Wednesday here in the shop. So check it out every single Wednesday. Anything of note this week, sir, that you would like to speak of?
Let me start with the independents.
All right.
Kukui Project number 8.
Oh, yeah, we've got that.
That just came out this Wednesday.
Oh, good.
Globally.
Are you going to autograph them?
Disco Thunder
Okay.
number 3.
What?
You only gave
You
me
did
one?
two?
No, he only gave me one copy of it.
Oh,
I gave him one copy, so
wow. What the heck? What is going on?
Oh, we're also going to have a lot of local books this Wednesday, too. We're going to have Excellion. Let me get this.
Oh, yeah.
This is DJ Kawhi Kane's book. And me and him both nerded out about Chris Claremont because he is like my brother when it comes to X-Men. Like,
Totally.
me and him are so tuned in. Like,
Yeah.
the 90s were our time. He knows what was just great about the X-Men. And we both met Chris Claremont and we're just like, you know, basically like, oh, we love you, sir. Well, just bowing and everything. And,
All right, we'll get to that. Tell us
All
what's
right.
on the independent. We'll get to that. Tell us what's on the independent list.
we got more Kipaku Kai with issue 2
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
by Rusty Bailey guys.
Kamakua.
Amakua, Legends of Amakua. We've also got, I think we got some Gordon Ryder coming in from John J. Murakami.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. That's a real funny book.
There was that other one in the independent guys in the back, and I just liked how cool they were. Super nice guys, and I bought their book. It was the two guys are working together with crossovers, like Intermix Comics or something like that. Yeah, and so I got a bunch though, and we got to meet Camille Tripp and the independent artist.
Yeah, from Little Church.
That's really
Very cool.
really cool.
All right, what other exciting independents are there on that
So,
list?
as for the truly independent books that are like super independent from all of that crap, is
Super independent from independent?
Wow.
Bill and Ted Go to Hell #4,
Wow. That's amazing.
Disney Magic Kingdom #1,
Disney even. That's Disney Independence.
Dungeons and Dragons #1,
Oh, man.
Monstrous #6, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures Carmelo Anthony Special.
Wow. Who knew that the Teenage Mutant Ninja
How
Turtles,
independent.
Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin
Plays hockey,
Eastman
right? What does he do?
could make an independent comic together?
Is he a sports
Sorry.
dude?
Yes, sir.
Carmelo Anthony hasn't played basketball in like 20 years.
Oh, he plays shooty hoops?
Yeah, shooting hoops.
Eat it.
And I love how that's the name for it in the Magic crowd.
It is.
Everybody asked about basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a ball player there, Bernardi.
No, shooty hoops.
Oh, shooty hoops. Yeah, he's a shooty hoops player for
He's
sure.
a shooty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a shooty hooper.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's the technical term.
Well,
I
listen.
saw a movie like that.
What else is on that? What is it called?
We've got Marvel Comics.
Oh,
Captain America.
mainstream.
Steve Rogers #1.
Okay.
Captain Marvel
Super
#5. Deadpool #12. The return of the Deadpool 2099 series.
Ooh.
Doctor Strange #8.
Nice.
Extraordinary X-Men #10.
Oh.
Obi-Wan and Anakin #5. Of 5, the final issue in the
Oh,
series.
the final issue of the series.
I kind of want to just keep listing titles so you keep going, ooh.
Ooh.
I'm enjoying this. Spider-Man and
Piece of
Deadpool
candy.
#5.
It's gonna ride if you keep that.
Yeah,
thought
don't
you did
keep that up,
already.
man. Jeez, I'm gonna get crazy.
Those
Ooh.
Aftershocks.
Piece of candy.
Totally Awesome Hulk #5.
Ooh.
The Worst X-Men.
Is that Pac? Pac? Greg Pac?
No, it's
Cake.
Is it Pac?
No, I don't know.
It's not though.
It's Greg
I think
Pac.
it's Pack.
Is it Pac? Is it
No,
Greg
it's
Pac?
Frank Cho.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not Pac, it's Cho.
Oh. It's Pac Joe.
No.
Oh.
Just
Deepak
Cho.
Chopra.
Just Joe.
That's that rapper guy,
It's
right?
Oprah.
It's
And The Worst X-Men #4 or 5.
Nice.
Now
Nice,
on to
nice.
DC.
Oh wow,
Wait,
DC stuff.
I heard that they were rebooting their entire universe.
Let me get to that.
Okay.
Batgirl #52.
Bad
The
girl.
last
Ooh.
issue of Batgirl.
Oh, yeah, because she's bad.
Deathstroke #18.
Yeah, because he strokes it too much.
Justice League #50.
Yes.
Ooh.
Superman #52.
He's super.
That's what they say.
DC Universe Rebirth #1.
Oh, sweet.
Whoa!
And they're rebooting their entire universe.
Wait.
But I heard the
DC,
continuity is staying intact.
Yeah. they're just continuing through this one.
DC Universe After.
But more importantly,
Number-
look,
number
I
one?
saved one for last because it's more important than all this reboot.
Okay,
stuff
what is that?
Seems to happen every 6 or 7 months.
Kukui Project number
It
8.
is Scooby-Doo Apocalypse #1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Courtesy of
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee.
And DC After.
But he didn't draw the whole book.
Well, hey,
No, he's actually the writer. I
he's
think.
a story artist. He's a writer.
He's a story artist.
He's a story dude.
He's a story guy.
He's a story
But he
artist.
also is also responsible for some of the character illustrations in the book.
Yeah, and probably.
Well,
designing
you know,
it.
He's also responsible for a lot of hash marks.
And listen, I know
I
that we
love
met
that.
Jim Lee, but
Hashtag plastic.
not his fault. I hate Scooby Doo. But listen, it's all good.
It's because it's liberal propaganda, right?
It is. It
Wait,
definitely is.
It's not Jim Lee's fault.
You know-
he hates Scooby Doo though.
Did you know that characters on Scooby-Doo are actually meant to represent the 5 colleges near Amherst? Like
What
Fred is the preppy from the private school Amherst College. Velma is the lesbian from Smith College.
How dare you? They're not all lesbians.
They don't
Daphne.
say she's lesbian.
Daphne,
it's implied, though.
Daphne is the pretty girl from Mount Holyoke, which is also an all-girls school.
I thought she was from Amherst.
Is the stoner from UMass Amherst, and Scooby-Doo is the dog from Hampshire College, the little rinky-dink school on the side. We have 5 colleges that are all grouped together.
What the hell? What is wrong with you guys? That's so weird. That doesn't sound right. Sounds like something you Boston guys made up.
But how is it?
It's true. It's so true.
How is it that you don't find any inspiration from Scooby Doo?
Because I find him annoying, and
Casey Kasem.
I would have probably put that dog down way.
You know what it
before
is?
his time.
Casey Kasem is Middle Eastern. I think that makes G Money uncomfortable.
Gazy Gazem.
Casey Kasem.
Feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
That's the only explanation because
Yeah, it
everybody
is.
in America loves
Bikini.
Scooby-Doo.
So weird.
You're not really American.
Yeah, I know. Gannon and his yarmulke got up for some reason. I don't know what he's doing.
That's not a young
Beach blanket bikini.
Oh, beach blanket bikini. He's going somewhere. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I can't believe he went
One
there.
of his cosplay
Oh,
girlfriends
jeez.
called. Anyway,
That's why we-
in
that's
the
why we
middle
call-
of a television show, how dare you?
He's having a really difficult time with the
Anyway.
right now.
That's why we call it Gannon.
I can't believe he's leaving because
Spoon.
So that was fun going over the comics, but I really want to go over the comics.
I do too. And here's where we're going to start. I can't believe I'm saying this because now that Gannon's left. Let's start with Todd.
Wait,
Great.
are we starting with me because Gannon left?
Yes.
We should start with Gannon. Gannon, come back. Oh, good. Swan's here.
Now we lost.
Great.
Oh,
And now-
big loss.
Now Swan's here.
Because he's big C.
What? It's not like we have a television show going on.
We lost Gannon.
Jeez. No. It's,
You guys are dropping left and
they're
right.
dropping like
Oh my
flies.
God, this is like Saturday Night
Facebook
Live.
Live is now staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
they needed the charger back.
Oh, no. Well, listen, Todd. Let's start with you and let's.
Yo, what's up?
Wink, wink.
Todd Bernardi, you were at Amazing Hawaii Comic Con. You had your own booth. You were hawking your comic there.
Yes, I was.
What'd you think of the con? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you meet any of your inspirations? What happened?
No.
You just got to hang out with all his buddies.
Well, I'm a part of
Alliance buddies.
I'm a part of the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance, so I got to see all those guys, and it was amazing.
They live in Howie's? I didn't know that.
You messed up. Dude. Why are you so racist?
I wasn't the only.
He's Hawaiian salted for crying out loud.
Listen, I asked every one of those guys at the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance.
I
asked
might
them those
be. I
questions.
might be a Howley. I might be a cracker. But at least I'm Hawaiian salted.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So, what did you think of the con, sir?
It was good. It was I think the convention, the attendance was a little low
There
this
was
year,
graduations.
but I think that it was actually a fantastic.
Yes.
Hardcore. The fans were real hardcore about what they liked.
Yes.
I had some returning fans, some returning readership that came back to get the next issue of the comic book, and I got to meet more fans too. And the thing about these conventions on Oahu is that I go there 3 or 4 times a year, and I'm always like, oh man, I bet those, that guy is gonna like this book, but I don't get a chance to talk to him.
Right.
But then I see him again at the next convention. I'm like, hey man, I saw you at the last convention. You think you might want to like my book? And he's like, yeah, I'll check it out. And they read it, and it's awesome.
Great. So you brought out at your booth. You did do the brand new the brand new issue of Kukui Project, and a brand new issue of Disco Thunder Groove Bone. Yes.
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. So you had you met your deadline.
Well, I could have sent this off early, but I spent a lot of time on it. So,
But that's no fun. I mean, you wanna get
Right.
there at the last second. Perfect.
it's I sent it out at the very last day to not have to pay extra
Nice.
for it to get to me on time.
All right. Did you meet any of your inspirations while you were there? Other than Alika, of course.
I'm gonna start at the bottom of the list and work my way up to the top.
How long is that list?
The bottom of the list was Jim Lee. Like I'm
Wow, really?
I'm
He
cursed.
didn't even meet you.
I'm cursed. I can't meet Jim Lee. It's like a thing. I've been to a bunch of conventions where he's been there. I've always wanted to meet
He came
him.
and hung out at Maui Comics and Collectibles
Collectibles
booth.
booth.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't.
Thanks to Ken Gardner. Just
I've
a shout out to Ken.
I've never been able to meet the guy. And then I was like, oh man, maybe I'll get to meet him this time. And on the last day, I was the last person in line to meet him. And I got in at the very last second.
Right.
I bought a book in line so that he could sign it, and I also had Wildcats #1 with me, so he could sign it. And
But we learned tonight that he wasn't responsible for Wildcats.
yeah, I know. So according to a guy that Swan talked to.
Yeah.
And so if you do these big lines, there's a guy that is in front of you, and then you've got all these other people in front of
That's
you.
how a line works, Todd.
You've got a guy that works for the convention
Yes.
in front of you, and he takes your book, and then you've got a lot of people that are in front of you in the line that are actually getting to meet Jim Lee.
Oh.
And so so I'm a couple of people behind him not getting to meet him, but the people from the convention grab my book and then take it and pull it out of the Mylar and then slide it down to him. He signs it and then he slides it past him, and then I'm like, wait, where's my book? And so they're like, oh, it's over here, and I go to get my book so that I can try and meet him and talk to him. And then there's a guy on the other side. Once I pick up my books, and they're like, hey man, you gotta leave. And I'm like, I haven't even got to meet Jim yet. And he's like, well, you've already picked up your book. And I'm like, they told me to come over here and pick up my book so I can meet Jim,
Right.
and now you're asking me to leave.
Wow, man.
So I didn't. He signed my stuff, but I didn't get to meet him, and so that's why this is last on the list, because
Wow.
I'm just doomed never to meet the guy. I'm sure that he's on.
Well, if you spend more time with us at Maui Comics,
Oh.
you might have.
It's true. It's
You
true.
might have.
That's the reason that I've never met him, is because I go to these conventions to meet new readers and to meet old readers that are appreciating my work.
Sure.
And so I'm spending all my time with my audience instead of being part of the audience and spending time with the heroes that of mine, like Jim Lee and
Artist Alley was pretty busy. Like there were a lot of fans all over all the independents.
All right,
and then I got to meet Ryan Otley, who does Invincible, and he's
that's one guy we weren't able to get.
He didn't want to.
He's awesome. I got some original artwork from him, and I just hung out with him for a little while at his table.
You got to hang out with him?
Yeah.
He didn't even hang out with us.
I actually, Gannon got to hang out with him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at
After
a con, you're
sushi.
trying to make money too.
Well, until he meets with us, he's a jerk. No, I'm just kidding.
And while I was hanging out and trying to meet Ryan, and Ryan will do really quick head sketches for his fans. Not really quick. I mean, he spent some time on it.
Like caricatures?
No, they call them head sketches because they're
like it's just a bust of a character.
I thought you said he was doing sketches for anyway.
So he would do sketches and he'll spend some time on it, so that you kind of get you kind of have to wait in line. So that he's finishing the sketch that he's doing.
What was he? What did you have to ask him to do a sketch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
what did you ask him to do?
He was charging $100 for the sketch, so I just decided to buy original pages.
Oh, cool.
So I got some of his original pages, which are fantastic.
Yeah, he had some beautiful pages, man.
And while I was waiting for him, a little-known creator by the name of Robert Kirkman.
Who's that guy?
Came to talk to the artist that he works with. And I don't know if you guys know, but Robert Kirkman is the writer and creator of The Walking Dead. Have you heard of this?
Wait a minute.
No.
So what's The Walking Dead?
Sounds interesting.
The Walking Dead is a black and white Image comic.
The same
black
guy
and
that
white,
does
that'll
the
never
Fear
work.
the Walking Dead? Because Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know Fear the Walking Dead. What's
The
this?
Walking Dead? What is that?
It's
Wait a
similar
minute.
to that.
So, is that the one with like the dead people?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a zombie
That's a
story.
Bruce Willis movie.
Listen, zombies never work. We already know this.
You know, it's funny you say that because that's exactly what the publisher of Image Comics said.
Yeah, that's weird.
He was like, zombies are never going to work. And then Robert Kirkman was like, well, you don't understand. I'm going to be foreshadowing this alien invasion. So it's really an alien story wrapped in a zombie book. And they're like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, we'll publish that. And
Plus, they don't call them zombies.
yeah. Plus, I'm not going to call them zombies. So and so they're like, oh yeah, we'll publish that. And then issue 4 comes out, issue 5 comes out, and then the publisher's like, why aren't you foreshadowing the alien invasion? And Robert Kirkman was like, I was never going to do that. I just told you that, so you published the book.
Wow. So
now it's one of
Common knowledge. Everybody do that.
So wait a minute. So we should be looking forward to his work then. So that's
he knew it because I told him that.
No, it's called Google.
Oh, Google.
So let me get this right. So this is an up and coming artist.
Robert Kirkman.
Right. So the up and coming. His name is Robert Burtman. Right.
No. He's a writer. And he writes the.
Oh, he's a writer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also got to see the premiere episode of Outcast.
Yeah, he also
by
writes
Robert
that.
Birdman.
Oh,
Birdman?
interesting.
Kirkman.
All right, so you met Kirkman,
I met Kirkman. He signed my stuff. I met Otley.
and how was Kirkman? Was he a cool cat?
I read. Yeah. No.
Did you
He
guys
was the nicest guy ever.
Did you
man.
guys get to touch beards?
Not facial beards.
we had talked about it, and then he wanted to, and I was like, what if we never get unstuck? Like, what if it's Velcro and we're just together for the rest of it?
You could be the inspiration for each other.
I actually, I think that scared him out.
Spaceballs when they get the Schwartz.
He was like, no, he was like,
Put
that's.
your knee on my and push.
Yeah, right.
That nice.
Yeah. Well,
Schwartz is wrapped around
I think
my-
I scared him enough that he might shave his beard. Actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
So
Way to go.
he'll never get stuck to anybody.
Wow. And who else was on that list? Who, let's put it this way. Let's get to it. Who was at the top of that list, sir?
But he's got at least 6 other people he wants to talk about.
Who's at the top of that list?
No, I mean those were the big ones.
Oh, good.
Jim G.
Good.
It was Jim Lee and Robert Kirkman, and then and Ryan Otley.
So let me ask you this.
Nice.
Or what if let me tell you this before we move on to Gannon. What if I were to tell you that you may get your chance to finally meet Jim Lee?
You know, I don't.
He doesn't believe you.
I don't believe you. I think that it's a curse.
Okay.
I think that I think that I'll meet all of the other Image founders before I ever meet Jim Lee. I've already met Eric Larson.
So if you're the bad luck, then we need you to stay away from Maui Comics and Collectibles all day Wednesday and all day Thursday.
Okay.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I'm gonna try not to see any movies on Thursday.
Okay. You snuck out on the other one. You were not getting out of this.
Certainly not the premiere 2D showing at Maui Mall.
Yeah, for sure.
7:30.
No, I had a really great time. I want to thank everybody I got to meet, and I want to thank everybody at the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance.
Oscars here.
I'm not trying. I'm sorry.
Somebody. Hey, somebody.
Play 'em off,
Somebody
please.
play him off. Play him off.
Go ahead.
I just had such a good time.
That's awesome.
And this is such. It's always an amazing experience,
Well, it's the
especially.
amazing Hawaii Comic Con. It's amazing.
I'm sorry. It's always an awesome experience
Yes, sir.
because it's mostly because of people like Maui Comics and Collectibles. And the NERDWatch
Yes,
and
sir.
the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance.
Well, listen.
I'm not going to name names because that would take too long. I don't want to take too long.
Now all of a sudden. Well, it was great having you at the con. I enjoyed hanging with you for as little time as we could because you're so busy.
I wish I could have gotten one of those snazzy interviews.
I know. I want to give you one. Dang it! We told you we wanted to give you one.
No. We've been talking about having an interview since like October.
This is how he started on the cast.
Yeah.
Yes.
He came in for an interview and he just ended up sitting in.
Yeah, it never happened.
Never
I've
went away.
never gotten an interview. I'll probably meet Jim Lee before I get an interview with the NERDWatch.
Maybe tomorrow you might meet.
Yeah, he might. Who knows?
No.
Well, maybe tonight I'll get that interview. I've been promised.
All right, Gannon. What about you, sir? You were at the amazing Hawaii Comic Con, and did you have a good time? Did you get any? Not that. I mean, did you have a good time?
What were you asking if he got?
Yeah, what question did you stop yourself from asking? I'm more
I
interested in
believe
that
he
one.
was going to say trim, but he stopped himself before the end.
Okay, let's try that question one more time. Go, do that question again.
Okay. So Gannon, did you have a good time? Did you?
No. That's not. No.
Did you? Did you get any? Did you have
Did
a
I
good
get
time?
any trim? No.
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Wait. Sean was there, right?
Sean was there.
And you didn't get any?
No.
He was training. He was training.
He was too tired, is what he constantly told me.
Oh, okay.
I get told that all the time by my wife.
I had a lot.
He had a headache.
I had what some would call marks throughout the show, but no trim, as it were.
Interesting. But you did mark out
he got
at the
kissed,
Amazing Hawaii Comic Con, did you not?
Maybe. Huh?
I said, but you did mark out at the Amazing Hawaii Comic Con.
Mark out?
I guess it's a wrestling term. Like you mark out.
So I
It's like-
wrestled somebody?
No. Marking out is like
He was hoping that
you're
you
very
did.
excited to meet people, and you mark out over certain people that you meet.
Sure.
Good. So how was your experience?
It was fun.
How many people did you pile drive?
I mean, I got to meet Robert Kirkman. I got to meet Jim Lee. I got to meet Aunt Lucia, who's actually one of my favorite newer artists that designed the DC Bombshells line.
There were cosplayers who were doing his work at the con.
Yeah, like I said, there was marks. Anyway, to stay on topic. But yeah, I actually had a lot of fun getting to meet more of the local artists, the local cosplayers,
Yes.
local comic book artists. Todd Gill tricked me into buying almost all of his books.
No. If it was a guilt trip, you would have bought all of my books.
Well, not all, but I bought. He guilt tricked me into buying a lot of them.
How you avoid
A lot
that
of art.
is that
I spent almost all of my money this last weekend.
you avoid buying Todd's comic by saying, "Hey, everybody, it's Todd Bernardi," and then you shake his hand and then you walk away. That's
No,
how-
I don't think that.
no, that did no. Okay,
You
just
can't.
check.
Well, I don't-
I thought that's all.
Well, because I kept addressing myself as his friend, but then I never
Oh.
bought his books, and he had all of his other comic book friends around with him, so I didn't want them
I
to
didn't
think,
buy any of
look
his
at
books
this
at the
guy. But they also know you're a comic retailer, so you have them here.
Yeah, that's true.
and then he bought my comic tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the store.
But he's not going to read it.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun to take. It was a lot more fun to take pictures. A lot of fun networking with a lot of the people that were there. We met other podcasters there, which was kind of cool.
The Mana Pauhana podcast. Big shout out to the Mana Pauhana podcast, by the way. When they listen to this show, big shout out to them. They were fun to talk to
We
for
did
sure.
a bit of a crossover episode with them.
We certainly did.
Left me out of it.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
Plus, you know what they have? You know
You're
what,
too busy grabbing lunch.
you know what they have that we don't? A beautiful cosplayer.
Well,
I can
you weren't
dress
such a
up.
misogynist.
I know, it's true.
You're like the
We're never gonna have a
You're
female
the
member of the
great
cast that we-
alienator of women.
That's
G
true.
Money.
Every time
a great whoopee.
Every time
Yeah.
there's a female that's part of the show,
I'm a great slave
G
lady.
kicks him out.
That's true. I do.
There was a great male slave lay at the con this year.
Oh, really? That's
Was there
awesome.
really? I didn't see him.
There was a guy getting poked around by Boba Fett.
But then he dressed up like Dash Rendar the rest of the
weird.
convention.
So, did you meet anybody that you were looking forward to? Did you pick anything up that was really cool? Anything?
I bought a lot of art. Ed Nunez was there, and I really fell in love with his art from last year, so I picked a
very
little
cool.
bit more from him.
A Turtles artist.
Well, actually,
He's a Wildstorm artist from Wild.
yeah.
He's done some of that.
Wasn't there a Nunez on Turtles too?
Well, no. The
What is he
exclusive
doing?
cover for
Yeah.
Amazing Con was his art.
Yeah.
The Batman
yes,
Turtles cover, that was
yeah.
his. I actually bought 2 covers of those and had him send them both.
Wow, very cool.
But yeah, I always buy art from him. I tend to buy a lot more art there than comics because I usually just get comics here. So
Can
I
I
bought it there.
divulge that you also found yourself buying jewelry?
What?
You bought jewelry?
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
I would remember something like this.
No.
You
well,
bought the
you had a lot of
necklace,
great
remember, with the key? The key necklace with the.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
It was a key ring with Sam from Trick or Treat on it.
Yes.
I didn't buy that to wear though. I'm probably just gonna hang that in my car.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's pretty
The
adorable.
artist, I kept walking past that artist. I can't remember her name for the life of me. I wish I'd written it down, but I'll probably post it there. But every time I walked past her booth, I was so low on money. I kept talking myself out of buying stuff.
You did
That
say
la-
booth, right?
Booth.
Okay, good.
And then that final Sunday, I just walked past her one last night, and she also happens to not be there a lot of times. She's
Interesting.
always either on a bathroom break or she's getting lunch or whatever. So
Was that the alienation you were talking about, by the way?
You alienating women?
Yeah, so just checking if that was what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, you're.
Oh, okay, good.
You're an
Just double
alienator
check.
of women.
You're either creepy or you hate them.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, she was there the last time I passed by. So I was like,
Good.
all right, I'll buy some of her stuff.
Fantastic. And, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Format did not come. He was monitoring the NERDWatch's Facebook posts. Okay, but this is the guy I'm afraid
Mr.
to
Format.
talk to about it. Because he is a mark.
You're on the banner, guys. Where's that guy?
Yeah, first of all, Format was there because his face wasn't covered up by
No,
comics.
I was photobombing the whole.
That's right, you were. Alika, sir, you were there and you had a booth and a retailer there, but that seemed like you being a retailer seemed like less of a priority than you meeting all of your heroes.
The booth was together. My brother Richard and Swan were holding it together the whole time. I trust my team. I trust my crew.
All right.
And so
And-
then I got to run around and meet everybody. And get them for interviews. We got an interview with Scott Lobdell.
Well, I tell you, so okay, which we'll be getting to shortly. I'm going to talk about the podcast that we did there. What was the highlights for you?
Just getting to talk to everybody and actually getting to meet the other retailers of small stores like Choice Comics on Oahu, Enjoy Comics on Big Island, Hilo, Mike's Auto guys and everything.
Yes.
And
Other
actually,
Realms was there?
Other Realms, the gaming specialists on they're by the Ward Center. They do all the Warhammer 40K and Magic and
Shout out to Other Realms because they have a podcast room, which is awesome.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Maybe someday we'll get one.
It sounds more like a storage room that they do.
With all the money we're making.
We have a storage
Wait a
room.
minute. So when you signed up, you were expecting to make money?
No,
Okay, just checking.
I'm
If
just
you
saying.
want, we can hold the podcast in the Harry Potter room.
I know, right?
Yeah, under the stairs.
Under the stairs, that'd be sweet. All right, so what else was good for you at the con? What did you see that you liked? What did
Well,
you see?
and I got to meet Harley Yee, which was one of my mentor Bruce's early compatriots in collecting comics. And Bruce would always tell me stories about him and Harley finding collections or, trading comics and stuff. So
What was that conversation like?
it was good to finally put a face to the name. Like he had known who I was or heard of me somehow, and so I went up and introduced myself, and
Awesome.
so it was really cool. And he always has like the killer comics. He had like a whole row of Golden Age Captain Americas, and just things that nobody had.
Was that the guy that was on the corner?
He's on right behind us.
Yeah, that was the
messy
guy.
booth.
Yeah, that was the guy. Okay, that was him.
And he's had Human Torch and Submariner, Golden Age comics, just things you don't see all the time. Everybody had everything from the Silver and Bronze Age. We were all rocking the same stuff.
Sure.
But Harley, man, he had some special comics, so hopefully I can work some deals with him. And that was exciting. And then, of course, meeting all the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance guys, getting all their comics. Swan, especially helping. He's the winner. Do you have that comic, Swan, the Batman Ninja Turtles sketch cover?
What Swan decided to do, if I may.
What an amazing idea.
Swan decided to get the sketch cover for the latest issue of Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Team Up. So what he decided to do was take all of the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance and have them sketch out.
And when he first told us this idea, Ryan, who is also another big supporter of the store and does Hawaii Trendsetters,
Yes.
this hat's why, he watched the shop for us this weekend, but he did the first piece on this, which is the shredder in the center.
Yep.
And
I love how he was going to show the spine.
Swan.
Well, I don't really
Show the camera. Show the camera while we talk.
And we've got every character is done by a different member of the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance. You can see Batman on the front covers. That's done by Todd.
What
Nice
I
job,
do?
Todd.
Todd
Taking the
Bernardi.
most important character for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Egomaniac.
And then ruining it with your art.
He asked me.
Ryan, you know he's a
I
humble
didn't
man
say-
because he picked the bad guy, the unpopular one for Shredder, okay? But you Batman. That sounds
He
fair.
asked me
That
to
has a
do
ring to it.
Batman, and I didn't. I'm sorry.
And so
I'm sorry.
you got
Next time-
Theo Lee's Raphael. I don't know who did everybody.
Well, I know that Theo Lee did Raphael. I know that
Andy Lee did this awesome robotic
Andy Lee
Krang on the
did an
bottom.
amazing Krang, but he didn't even do Krang. He did the
Android body.
Android body,
You
which
see the
is so
brain.
awesome.
I love that.
That was sweet. So Sam Campos is on there as well.
Yeah, Sam Campos, Chris Cavallo.
Yeah, Chris Cavallo's on there.
Chris, Roy.
Chris Loman.
Yeah, Chris Loman.
Yeah, Chris Loman's on there. Todd
Rusty
Bernardi got
John J.
first
Murakami.
dibs. That's why he picked Batman.
Yeah.
Well, he asked me to do Batman, and
Free Isabello did April O'Neil.
and so that's kind of why I picked that one. I think.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Just a
I'm
lot
jealous,
of,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. And then he got Eastman to sign it.
Yeah, and Kevin Eastman saw the
signed
cover
it. Yeah.
and signed it and did a little turtle sketch on the logo.
And then said
More importantly, what did Kevin Eastman say about the idea?
he wants to know where his check is.
That's so loud. So
And
good.
Kevin Eastman is great, man. And hopefully someday we can have an
I
interview with
would
him.
love to
That
interview
would be
Kevin
great.
Eastman. That would be so awesome.
Did you ask him?
Here's
Yeah, we did. Unfortunately, he's like swamped at the con, so we couldn't get him there. But maybe on a different occasion when he comes through again.
Todd, you're gonna have to be there for that one.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can punch you in front of him.
I was going to talk to him about
defend his honor.
I want to defend his honor.
That's
in
true.
front of him.
That's
That's what I did when I met him.
Yeah, I figured.
I was like, oh man, I love what you did with heavy metal. He's like, yeah, that was a good time.
Anyway, so let's this leads into what we're going to talk about at the con, ladies and gentlemen. We did an inordinate amount of podcasts. We
You did like 30,000?
We did like over 30 podcasts. We did so many of them that I'll be putting them out onto our podcast over the next few weeks. We talked to guys. We talked to a myriad of artists. We talked to. We even had a short interview with Todd Bernardi and his buddy DJ. So you were on the show technically.
You had a long interview with DJ, and I was just there for dressing.
Wow.
He's here for
Do
dressing.
you know that you have a show
had some
here
solid
every
dressing there
Tuesday
at the
that
time.
you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ doesn't have a show. So
DJ
And DJ is
wants
a great guy to talk to because me and him, if we got to talking
Okay,
about
no,
X-Men, I'd
brother.
have someone who back me up over here.
Yeah.
So you guys don't seem to understand why you
No.
should hate Fox X-Men.
And as soon as like I hung out with DJ Thursday night, he was like, "Oh man, I love that podcast you guys do." And he was like, dude, when you were looking into the camera and watching Travis, he was like, I was just busting up.
Leave Travis alone.
I was like, I don't even know why I picked the name
We're just
Travis.
trying to watch our show.
I was like, Travis, please get that surgery.
Sure, man. Anyway, we did
I lost my yarmulke.
We did so many podcasts that over the next few weeks we're going to be doling them out to you guys in chunks, so we don't overwhelm you guys. But we talked to greats in the business. We talked to Chris Claremont, gave us the man responsible
Wait, who
for
is
the
that?
X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Chris.
Uncle Chris.
Dropping some knowledge on our butts.
We talked to Scott Lobdell. He was a fun interview.
Yeah.
I know Scott.
Scott Lobdell came by the booth after you guys had left
what'd he say?
talk with me a little bit and said, you know, your buddy Greg, I was playing with him a little bit and kind of pulled a fast one on him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because you started interviewing him and he's like, he had no idea what I did he? Because
What did he do?
I had led him in the direction to believe that I was an artist and he ran with it. He didn't even
My whole thing was that when I was talking to everybody, I got caught up in talking to so many artists and it just kind of rolled off the tongue.
And then I remember, because I hadn't jumped in at this point, I was just listening to you interview him, and you were talking, and you were like, "Oh, so you're self-trained, huh? You taught yourself how to do it." And he was just nodding.
No, I knew. But see, when I said that, was this when I actually asked when I talked to him about that? I asked everybody that. I said, was this a craft that you designed did you get this as a youngster? Were you trained?
Stop
in this?
defending yourself.
No, I'm
It's
serious.
a long-winded way of saying he really didn't know what he was.
I asked
he didn't
everybody that.
He didn't know.
Me and
The
Scott,
only person he knew what they did was when Vampy Bibby showed up. Because it was obvious
an
what
easy
she
one.
did.
the point of the story is that me and Scott had a good chuckle at your expense.
Good, thank you.
I was able to bond with Scott over that.
Good.
Awesome.
No, I asked everybody whatever their craft
It's all right,
was.
man. You give it a go.
I asked even
But
Chris
then I
We
jumped
know you
in.
didn't know, dude. It's okay.
It's fine.
And just so you know, he's a writer of the X-Men during the 1990s and also on the Generation X series.
Right.
And I think he's co-creator of a lot of those characters who were in that series.
Well,
Which I was telling him was one of my
has
favorite.
he ever worked for DC
Team.
before?
Yes, of course he's worked for
Yeah.
DC.
No, he was.
But I could only gush about the Marvel stuff because I'm a Marvel fanboy.
Okay. That's weird. I didn't know that about you. I had no
All right,
idea.
go on about the DC stuff. I'm sure he was frustrated that I didn't ask him about that.
No. I mean, I met him in 2013, and he was. I had some booth babes with me at the amazing Las Vegas Comic-Con, and they dressed up as hula girls, and he decided to try to do a sketch of the hula girl that I was with, and it was pretty terrible. But I guess he kind of tried to. He had told this hula girl that he was also an artist. And then he came over and he bought Cooey Project #1, and I was like, oh, thanks. He's like, I hope you weren't thinking that I was going to draw your characters. And I was like, there's no hula girls in my comic book.
Wow.
And then he introduced me to some other pretty amazing artists in Artist Alley that he worked with that are all.
And you know what just dawned on me that we didn't ask him in the interview because I'm a dummy and not a DC guy? Is that he was a writer on Hush, wasn't he?
No.
No.
No, what story?
Jeff Loeb was.
Jeff Loeb.
Oh, it was Jeff Loeb. Okay.
Yeah. I think
He did Teen Titans, I think.
He did Teen Titans with the New 52.
And speaking of that, just
And
to
he
give
got
this a quick plug, Scott Lobdell has a new project that's going to be coming up on Kickstarter.
Fourplex.
Yeah, Fourplex. Fourplex. And that's going to be.
Can you even spell that on a copy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, it's spelled D-I-C-K.
Whoa.
What? What?
What, we can't spell it?
We can't spell it.
You can't even spell it.
D-I-C-K-C-U-M-I-N-J.
You're such a dork.
J.
Anyway,
That's a J.
Yeah.
That's a J, so it's not dirty.
So Scott has a Kickstarter coming up in the next couple of weeks. He said, right?
Yeah, it's going to be launching pretty
It's
soon.
going to be called Fourplex.
And he exclusively
Do we know
announced it on the podcast.
what it's about?
Yeah, Teen Titans reminded me of it because it's about a team of young heroes who
Yes.
are trained by an evil genius to infiltrate the adult heroes team. And what ends up happening is these young heroes just end up going ham on everybody and nobody can control them.
Yeah. Sounds pretty
He's
cool.
also like when New 52 hit in 2011, that was when everybody was mad about the Catwoman, Batman sort of sex scene that they had in the book.
Sure.
And also that Starfire was too sexy.
Wow.
No, she wasn't.
And I was like, dude, she's got orange skin. It's like,
Whoa, hey, come on, man, that's not cool.
she's an alien, and she's like, how is this? Why
So
are you?
none of those green skinned girls on Star Trek were ever sexy to you? That William Shatner?
That was a Von Craig, sir.
Well, look, here's the thing.
It was a Von Craig?
Yeah.
Catwoman?
No, that's Batgirl.
Right, Batgirl?
Here's the thing. We got to talk to not only artists and
That's spelled
writers.
CUMIN.
We not only did we get to talk to artists and writers, we also got to talk to other podcasters, which is really cool. We also got to talk to cosplayers. We got to talk to Vampy Bit Me. We got to interview Lindsay, who's actually a local
She goes by
cosplayer.
Night Darling.
Or
Actually.
Night Darling. You can check her out on Instagram at Night Darling. Very cool. And and on that Mana Pahana podcast that we interviewed, her name was Dallas, right?
Dallas Nagata White.
Yes, Dallas Nagata White. So we interviewed cosplayers. Gannon was there for every one of them.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You make that sound terrible.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you were
You
there.
make it sound like I was there to ogle them or something.
Well,
What were you doing?
I was there to.
Not like you were grabbing
Oh, you were
yeah.
ogle interview.
It's not the same thing.
So I just want you guys to
It's not
know.
like it's like we do kids sitting down.
There are a ton of interviews that we will be giving you guys in the next short.
I wish we could have gotten that armored Batman 808 Dark Knight, but I don't think you can sit down in that suit.
That was a really amazing cosplay.
Yeah, we have a picture of that up at facebook.com/NERDWatch. It's pretty cool. But listen.
What was the thing made out of?
It was all foam.
It was also,
all
yeah.
foam?
The whole thing was, the helmet was carbon fiber, the rest of it was foam.
It looked like he had,
Carbon fiber
and his
helmet?
lights,
Yeah, he had it made.
and the
That's
lights
sick.
in his eyes looked like they were made of like headlights almost. When you looked at them, it was
Yeah.
very cool. Or reflectors or something. It was very cool. Anyway, listen, it's almost time.
optics.
It's almost time for us to get out of here, and stay tuned because we're gonna have a couple of extra things to talk about for our exclusive part of the podcast. It has to do with a little more of the con, and then some interesting things that have come up in the last couple of days. And Swan's gonna pass me my phone so we can get to that as well. Anyway. And before we take off from television, because we gotta go, Akaku's got a time limit. So, anything else anybody wants to add before we say bye-bye to the guys at Akaku?
Hold the door! Hold the door!
Wow. Well, we're gonna talk about that, by the way.
Are we?
Yeah, we were gonna talk about that after the
Sorry.
show. We're gonna talk about
I
that.
thought it was a nice way to close out the show.
Yeah.
Give everybody a good cry.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that on the exclusive part of the podcast coming up in mere minutes. Also, I want to send a big shout out to Swan because he was doing a lot of the running around the con, looking for interviews along with Gannon and Alika. They were running around grabbing interviews for our table, which no one else was really doing it because they were just running around like crazy, which was a lot of fun. So we got to talk to a lot of special people. We got to talk to Azaceta as well. Why didn't I
Paul
mention
is
that? Yeah,
the
Paul
artist on
Azaceta.
Outcast.
Yeah, he's working with that Lobert Berkman.
Right.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman.
How do you spell it? D-I-C-K?
Roberto
U.S.
That's right. That's right.
Roberto.
Right.
Kirkman Rodriguez.
You said his name is Robert Kirkman, so it's J-Y. No, anyway.
C-U-M-I-N-H-J.
Got it. Good. I'm glad we got it. So that's how you spell Kirkman. Anyway.
It's Romanian.
Yeah. Just to let you know, guys, we're going to be getting those podcasts out to you as quick as possible. We got bombarded with it. So throughout the next couple of months, it's got from weeks to weeks. No, I'm just kidding. Throughout the next couple of weeks, we'll be doling those out to you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
By the time we're done giving you
That's
those
right.
interviews,
I'll release them in
con will
chunks.
happen.
I'll release them in chunks. Do like 2 or 3 at a time. I don't want to bombard you with too many interviews, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And of course, in the background, you hear a lot of the con floor, which is very exciting for us too. So
Like PA announcements.
I saw so many rare toys and collectibles that I wanted.
yeah.
I
Too
just,
bad you got a business.
yeah. I got scolded by Swan on the last day. I actually picked up a few things.
I almost forgot to mention one of my favorite interviews of the day was Stacey Hayashi.
I thought you were gonna say when you interviewed.
She did a little book on the 442nd.
The 442nd. I really like that book because I have a connection to World War II history because of my dad. Very cool book.
I thought because you were old.
No, it is that too.
He was there.
But
How old
thanks.
were you when you were in World War II?
Right, thanks, guys. But it was very nice. She was a very sweet interview, by the way. She was. I love to talk to her. We did a little 10-minute interview, and I was even mic'd up. They were like recording it for television, which
Hawaii
was
goes
cool.
fishing.
Yeah, apparently.
They might splice it because they have
What?
They were doing segments on a beach that they were exploring on the North Shore of Oahu. They both had related independent films going on there,
Oh.
and so they were going to probably use some of the interview footage.
Right, I think her comic is called Journey of Heroes, I believe.
Okay.
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, she signed my book even.
I have it coming this Wednesday. Everything I bought at the con is in the shipment.
She was absolutely adorable. I love talking to her.
We got a lot of those in store. We got a bunch coming.
She has a great appreciation for World War II and the veterans who fought in World War II, which is close and near dear to my heart. So anyway, guys, we have got to get out of here. We'll talk more in just a few seconds. We got some more stuff on tap that we want to talk about. Kaku, we've got to say goodbye to you guys. Big shout out to Maui Comics and Collectibles for all they do for us. They had
Comics.
I tell you what, Maui Comics and Collectibles made an impression on the con more than you would believe.
Everybody wanted to be
and
part
last
of this.
but not least, by the way, this podcast was the only ones that got the guy who was running the show there. His name is Jimmy
I wasn't
Jones.
even there.
We got to interview him, which is very cool. So,
Awesome.
I think that's pretty right. You were the only
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, we're the only ones that interviewed him. So
That's right.
big shout out to Amazing Hawaii Comic Con.
yes,
I
I am.
appreciate you guys
Awesome.
being there as well. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/NERDWatch. You can follow us on Twitter at NERDWatch Nation. You can also follow us on Instagram at _NERDWatch. And then, of course, you can follow us on YouTube now. Subscribe, like the
NERDWatch Nation on YouTube.
That's right. Like the shows.
Subscribe.
Comment on.